Church Council has asked me to, every now and again, give some feedback regarding particularly missions and outreach. And I also need the hand one.
I'll just use this one. If that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing, we support a guy called Batu in Myanmar. He sent us a report, and I've put the report up on that board over there. And I do encourage you all to please go and read what's going on in that man's life and know that you are supporting him and his family. They're running an orphanage, and he was just telling in the beginning of this year, they already had people coming to the Lord and got baptized and taken into. Go and read what he's doing, him and his wife, and under unbelievably difficult circumstances. You also might have seen a New Life dinner that's coming up. It's also in the Weekly Word, which also supports another orphanage within Myanmar, and we are part of that group of people that support it. Then outreach. Now you know that I've done sermons here about outreach. I want to remind you that as a congregation, we have, where is it? Yeah. We have a mission, and the mission says, love God, love one another, and spreading the message of Jesus. So by all means, challenge yourself. How is my love with God? And Auntie might tell you a little bit about that in her own experience. How do you love each other? It's easy to love each other here in the congregation. We're nice, beautiful people, clearly. But how are you going with spreading the gospel of Jesus? Now, as a congregation and as a denomination, we follow something called organic outreach. And I've challenged you, and you probably will recognize the phrase if I say, look at people in your circle of influence that don't know the Lord. Start praying for them. Look for an opportunity to give them the gospel. And while you're busy with that, start practicing. How on earth am I going to talk to somebody that knows nothing about God and give them the gospel? Now, the fourth little thing that I challenge you with today is ask each other, how are you doing in your outreach? Let's start keeping ourselves accountable, and let's get comfortable. Now, the tool that they propose we use, and which I suggest we all use, and which at the council level we do, and I know there's certain groups in fellowship groups in the congregation that's doing it. You ask a simple question: what is your outreach temperature? And you expect somebody to give you a score between 0 and 10. So during coffee time now, look at somebody, or look at your wife, look at your husband, look at people in that working with you to spread the gospel of Jesus, and ask them, what is your outreach temperature? And whatever score they give you, the second question is, why did you give yourself that score? And that will open up a conversation. We need to get comfortable talking about how we are approaching spreading the gospel for Jesus. Otherwise, we might as well throw this piece of paper away. Well, me and my auntie was privileged to be with Wycliffe last week, and I am now actually a director of Wycliffe. So you'll see more and more things coming from Wycliffe. There's a dinner coming up, and I know it's just the night after our dinner here at church. So that weekend, dinner after dinner after dinner, isn't that the goal of life? So mark it in your calendar. Book a whole table. Take all those 6 people that you're praying for and spreading the gospel to, invite them all for that dinner, an ideal opportunity. And I auntie would like to tell you a little bit about our experience in religious instruction.
So many of you know that I teach in a state school, and God has just really given me a love for these children and a heartache for these children, because I'm not allowed to tell them about God. I hear them asking questions, and I'm not allowed to answer those questions. And for 3 years I've been trying to get RI established in the school where I teach. That has come to a dead end, but in the meantime, I thought I was a Lone Ranger, but God has been working in the hearts of a lot of other people, and He put me in contact with this groundswell movement at the moment for teaching RI. Many of us don't realize that the government gives us legislative privilege. If a church goes, or a group of churches goes to a school and wants to teach RI, and if there are parents that want to opt into that program, the school has to provide that. They have to provide space in the curriculum for that. Anyway, things are on pause at my school, but I know that God is also working there. But I've joined another team, the Mayfield State School team, and this last Friday, we all started teaching RI at Mayfield State School. It was a beautiful, beautiful time to sit with these children, 25 children, eager, beautiful. I asked them to score themselves from 0 to 10. How much do you know about God? 0, 1, 2, 3. They don't know anything. I asked them, is there anyone that goes to church? No. Do you know anybody who has a relationship with God? Very little. And it's just beautiful to have this opportunity to to just stand there and openly teach these children about God. So praise God with me for that, and please pray with me that that we'll be able to establish this program in the school where I teach. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also blessed in that way. I taught last week at Wishart State School, and I'm also going to teach at Mansfield State School, just up here. And by the way, ask me or Andy, or Anita for that matter, is also doing RI. So if God lifts us up in your heart and say, yep, I can do that, please ask us and we will try and point you to the right direction. Thank you for your prayers. By the way, I've been the home missionary in this congregation, as you know, for 2.5 years, and that was one of my tasks, is getting RI into the schools. So if you think it's a short-term thing, it was a 2.5-year project to get that, and God opened it now. I don't know if it's because Jim joined the congregation that all of a sudden God opens up the floodgates. But praise God, we are now a church that's involved with religious instruction.